Is your computer protected from the 134 common vulnerabilities and exploits addressed by Microsoft's recently released patches and updates? 11 of these are critical and one is actively being exploited. I'm Bryan Longworth, host of A Faster PC Live Technical Support. Coming up next, I'll actually discuss these threats as well as show you how you can install the updates to make sure that your computer is protected. Here's the deal. So Microsoft has released various patches. By the way, Adobe has synced up their patch releases with Microsoft as well. So there are also Adobe patches. So on the Microsoft side, what we're dealing with is 124 new CVEs, which stands for Common Vulnerabilities and Exploits. And when you factor in also and add in third-party CVEs, we're looking at 134 CVEs that are addressed in the Microsoft patches. Microsoft's Patch Tuesday for April. So Microsoft released 124 new CVEs in Windows and Windows components, Office and Office components, Azure, which is their cloud computing, .NET and Visual Studio, BitLocker, Kerberos, Windows Hello, OpenSSH, and Windows Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, or ADAP. With the additional third-party CVEs being documented, it brings the combined total to 134 CVEs. Of the patches released, 11 are rated as critical, 2 are rated as low, and the rest are rated as important in severity. So one of the things, there is one of these critical vulnerabilities that is publicly known and is being actively exploited in the wild. This makes it vitally important that you get out and install the Windows updates as soon as you can if you have not done so already. Later, I'll show you how you can actually install those updates. So some of the big critical updates, there's a Windows Common Log File System Driver Elevation of Privilege Vulnerability. So this privilege escalation bug, escalation means that you have a username that doesn't have admin rights. And by the way, if you're using a computer where the user that you normally use has admin rights, whether it's used for work or for school or for your personal use, you are at risk, and your computer really should be configured with what's called the least privileges so that your username doesn't have admin rights. When a hacker gets a hold of a system that doesn't have admin rights, they try to escalate the rights or that user's permission so that it has admin rights. That's what privilege escalation is called. So this is a privilege escalation bug. It's listed as under active attack, and it allows threat actors to execute their code with system privileges. These types of bugs are often paired with code execution bugs to take over a system. Microsoft gives no indication of how widespread these attacks are. However, you need to make sure that you install the patches so that you are protected. There's also a Windows Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, or LDAP, remote code execution vulnerability. This bug allows a remote, unauthenticated attacker to execute their code on affected systems just by sending a specially crafted LDAP message. They would need to win a race condition, but we've seen plenty of exploits work around this requirement, since just about everything can host an LDAP service. There's a plethora of targets out there. And since no user interaction is involved, these bugs are wormable. LDAP really shouldn't be allowed through your network perimeter, but don't rely on that alone. So you want to test this. You also want to get the Windows updates installed and make sure that you're installing those as quickly as possible. There's also a Windows remote desktop service remote code execution vulnerability. What we have here is a critically rated bug that does not rely on user interaction. An attacker just needs to connect to the affected system with the remote desktop gateway role to trigger another race condition resulting in code execution. RDS is popular for remote management, so it's often reachable from the internet. By the way, if your remote desktop server is connected to the internet, or a computer that has RDS is connected to the internet, and also the remote desktop ports come through to that computer, it really needs to be configured differently so that you can protect yourself. But if you're sitting duck, because I can guarantee you hackers are trying to break into your system. So what happens if you're leaving it open to the world? There are some additional steps that could be taken. Better yet, just seal it off so that you're accessing it through a VPN, or you're accessing it through a more modern type of protection system. There's also a Windows Kerberos security feature bypass vulnerability. So there are several security feature bypass, or SFB, bugs in this release. But this one stands out above the others. A local attacker could abuse this vulnerability to leak Kerberos credentials, and you may need to take action beyond just patching. So if you rely on virtualization-based security, or VBS, you'll need to read more on this, or employ someone like a Faster PC to help you make sure that you are actually protected, that your computer systems are actually protected. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to a full screen. I'm going to show you how you would install the Windows updates. So we're going to click on Start. You will see a gear. If you're using Windows 11, you'll see a gear. I've moved mine into the Utilities folder, but otherwise you would see it right when you click Start. Also, if you're running Windows 11, it'll be up above the Start button when you click Start. So we're going to go into Settings. From Settings, I'm going to go to Windows Updates and click. Now, I actually installed Windows Updates. I've installed Windows Updates multiple times, and I'm going to click on Check for Updates. Otherwise, there would already be updates that were available. I installed, again, this is a new computer for me. I installed updates the day I got it, which included all of the Patch Tuesday updates. Right now, it's installing updates for the Microsoft Defender antivirus, and those updates do come out on a regular basis. And if there were additional updates, it would give me the option of installing those. I do have the option of installing Windows 11 version 24H2, because I initially installed 23H2. So I will do that. I won't do it while we're doing this show, because that would take me offline. But this is what you want to do. You want to be able to get in. You want to be able to get the updates installed. By the way, Faster PC we do have managed services, and with our managed services, one of the things we look for is we look for Windows updates twice a day. We look for updates to programs such as Google Chrome and Firefox and Zoom on average every 4 hours, and also including Adobe Reader. But I do just want to reiterate, if you're out there and you're not sure whether you have patches installed, if you want to just automate this and you want someone else to help you with this, you can actually contact a Faster PC. Give us a call, 772-878-5978. What we can do, we can set you up as a managed client, where in addition to remote support, in-shop support, maybe even on-site support, depending on the plan that you sign up with, we can actually automate your patches and updates. Cybersecurity problems? You need a Faster PC.